Again today, Monday, on Materials Monday. We were expecting here at the Biophilic Hub to have with us today Ruth Sutcliffe, which I amply wrote about, to talk about the importance of fragrance in our homes. Unfortunately, she was not feeling too well today and she will not be joining us, but we will postpone it probably till next week. So if you are looking forward to this little chat with us, please tune in this time next week. But I am not you empty-handed today. So today I will be, in fact, talking about something which crossed my mind this morning as I was having my coffee. So I usually have my coffee in a mocha, okay? So one of these old Italian coffee machines which sort of spurs up and has this lovely smell of coffee. It's quite strong. And then you have to throw away, obviously, the waste of the coffee. And why did this come to mind to me? Because a few weeks ago, I think it was during the Salone, I visited Cartel, and Cartel and Illy Cafe, which are well known in the UK and in the US, have made some kind of a joint venture where Cartel does now produce a chair which is made out of used capsules of Illy coffee. And that's fantastic because capsules are plastic, so that's not too good. My only question is, and I haven't had an answer from them yet, but I did ask them. I don't know if they have written to me. I said, but I don't understand, but unless someone knows and can tell me, is how do they collect these capsules? Because understanding that when we speak about coffee capsules, it's usually done for home consumption. And home consumption means that it's the individual who's going to sort of recycle their waste, either in plastic or in compost heaps. So this is something which I am a bit curious to understand how it works. What I would not like to hear is that they produce extra capsules. I'm sure this isn't the case. If I'm not mistaken, Illy Cafe is also a B Corp. And so they are also very, very careful about this. So we'll have to look into it. And if anybody knows something about it, please do tell me. I don't understand how they collect the capsules. That said, it's quite a thing now to reuse food waste. And in particular, coffee. Okay, so coffee has been, the first time I saw something made out of used coffee grinds, I think was in 2013 or 2014 by a Spanish designer who had in fact done a complete desk made out of coffee. And it was quite impressive. Now, there's quite a lot. Okay, so we have mugs made out of recycled coffee. We have plates made out of recycled ground coffee, which has been used. That's what I mean by recycled coffee. So instead of going straight to the compost heap, it is collected and used. Now, these are productions which are usually local, because clearly, if they're going to go around the bars and collect coffee, ground coffee which has been used, it's going to be local. So these are small productions, okay? They are not so enormous Although I have seen someone speak about doing tiles. Now, tiles, you do need a certain amount of coffee ground to do tiles. And I also looked into what Starbucks does. Now, Starbucks does a lot, or they say they do a lot for recycling. They say they do a lot of trying to have reusable cups. Although every time I've been to Starbucks, they always give me this kind of paper, plastified paper cup. Where possible, what they do is they kind of, I hope they don't sell it, but they make available the waste ground coffee for compost. Okay, so we have the coffee which is used and ground, and then we'll have to go and have a look at how sustainable this coffee actually is. So how it is harvested, how the people are looked after. Illy Cafe will have quite a lot to say there. And then, of course, we also have how it is served. So if it is served in a bar, what kind of bars? Do they have their own label? Costa, Starbucks, and many other ones. So what is it like inside the bars? Then we have obviously how they get rid of this coffee and everything around it. So it can be recycled and sold to local producers who make things out of ground coffee. It can be given to local citizens and use it in a compost heap where possible. And then, of course, we have the option of, which I saw recently, of making coffee logs. So it is used as a biofuel, even to people in their own homes. If you've got an open fire, you can use a coffee log. But as I was saying, this is because you collect locally from the local shops. You need a certain amount to make a production. So the other thing, which is, as I said, when I looked into cartel, it sounded fantastic, but then I started to have a doubt. I said, well, how do they collect the capsules? Because, of course, we have the issue of, well, what can we do with the amount of coffee which we drink at home? Okay, so if you're having real coffee that is not Nescafe or something to that extent, and you're using the capsule, so the Georges, you've got the capsule, which is plastic. Some people make it in recycled plastic, I believe, but. And how do they collect it? Okay, so these are my issues. Then a lot of people have been talking about using food waste. I saw an article this morning, but I didn't actually read it, saying that it could be, I've got to be careful with this because it can be toxic. So how do we recycle food waste into furniture? How we recycle it into tiles. Okay, so tiles have been used, and a lot of people use resin made from meat, or should I say, cartilage. Okay, you know that obviously when we eat chewing gum, gummy sweets, there's a lot of cartilage in this, so it's not something which we don't use. But then, of course, it's not vegan. Okay, so again, we're using the animals side of this. So there's a lot of things which have got to be taken into consideration. So this was my thought today while I was having my coffee, and before I knew that unfortunately Ruth was not able to join us. And I just wanted to share with you my thoughts because, being very attentive to biophilic design and to bringing nature indoors and using healthy and sustainable materials. Everything which you do during the day sort of makes you stop and ask questions. Am I doing the right thing? Is this really coming from where it's supposed to be coming? These are questions which we should be asking ourselves all the time, because if we want to create a space of wellness and a space of relaxation and well-being, which has got to be to a certain amount of relaxation, not excess, we do ask ourselves these questions. And are we going in the right direction? Are we not just being told information just for the sake of it? Okay, well, today's going to be particularly short because, as I said, I didn't have anything prepared. So, if you have any ideas about how we use food waste and how it can be used in a sustainable way, and I'm sure there are plenty out there, please do reach out to us on the Biophilic Hub. We would love to hear from you. Anything circular, anything sustainable, anything healthy. Okay, so that's all for today, and I'll speak to you next week. Hopefully, Ruth will be able to join us, and then we have some other people coming along in the following weeks. Okay, speak soon. Bye bye. And before I go, sorry, I was going to cut it off, but I wanted to tell you that we also have a workshop with Maureen Calamere coming up this Thursday. There are a few places still available. So she will be talking to us about the 5 elements of Feng Shui and how these, in fact, influence our energy in our spaces, how to read them and how to implement them. And if you are part of the Biophilic Hub, on Friday, we have Feedback Friday, and we are going to have an incredibly interesting talk with a designer who is going to show us what she managed to do with a space which seemed doomed and transformed it into a regenerative space for people with autism, or children with autism, I should say. A very, very interesting project, and I can't wait to share it with you. Okay, then. Well, that's all for today. I'm sorry about this misunderstanding, but I do hope to see you soon. Bye for now.